I wanted to ask
You
you
know,
about.
mate, you're right.
I wanted to ask you about the. It's not that. I'm on a real tight schedule today because I've got my daughter's parents' evening, and I really want to get these other talking points out. Everton's 10-point deduction. What do you make of it, mate?
I don't know why everyone's talking about City and Chelsea after it, if I'm being honest. Yeah,
okay, we'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, what do you make of Everton having 10 points? Are they, because a lot of Everton fans are acting like they're victims.
I see, was it Tim Sherwood? You did a video with Tim Sherwood saying, oh, I'm supporting Everton this season or saying. At the end of the day, they owned up, they admitted it, and they've been docked. They've got a right to appeal. They will appeal, and they'll probably get 5 points shaved off of that. Yeah, what's the issue? Like, they've broken an FFP ruling or law or whatever you want to call it, yeah, for the amount of losses. Fair play. I don't see what the hoo-ha is. Yeah, it's what it is. Yeah, like, they're one of the founder members of the Premier League. They've done something they shouldn't have done. They've admitted it real quick, and they've been charged real quick and sanctioned real quick. So I don't see what the issue is. You know, like I said, people waffling about the other two clubs. It's got nothing to do with Everton. It's got nothing to do with that. But again, it makes great storylines, doesn't it? Yeah, I did a video the other day, and I typed in Everton points deduction, space, Man City. Every single mainstream media outlet was waffling about Chelsea and City getting deducted points or relegation. Why? Based on what? Based on the fact that everyone will click on it. Yeah, and oh my God, yeah, we could cause attraction. No, rubbish. Rubbish, yeah. What has Everton getting points deducted got to do with the other two clubs? Nothing. Because we actually knew the charge that Everton were on. We don't know all the charges that Chelsea and
Chelsea haven't even been charged yet. It's under investigation, so it's But what do you make? What do you make?
As for the Man City one, the Premier League, I think it was, had to change one of the charges because it was a different charge to what they'd charged them for, and they got the rule wrong, so they had to rewrite the charge. There's something to do with 2013 or 14. The grass was too small or something, some rubbish. Yeah, so they had to rewrite it. They don't even know what they're doing, mate. Yeah, the thing is, everyone keeps waffling about Everton. Oh, it's such a shame on Everton. Oh, little football club. They're not little, they're massive. Yeah, well, they were back in the day. Yeah, but let's have it right here. Yeah, they've broken the rule. They're charged their deducted points. That's it. Get over it. Just because it's Everton and it ain't the team you want it to be, tough.
Everton 110.
Run the club better.
Yeah, Everton 110%. I cannot understand for the life of me this, oh, woe is me, the way the pundits are sticking up for them, the way journalists are saying it's excessive. It's a completely separate situation to Man City's. Man City's we'll get onto in a minute. They lost over £300 million. They got lots of it written off, which was within the rules, because there's certain things you can lose money on, investing in women's game, infrastructure, stadiums, investing in youth, all these things you can lose money on. But they're even trying to, I read a piece today a journalist put out around, they tried to say basically we got 20 million less when we sold Richarlison because COVID essentially knocked all the prices down. The Spurs didn't want to pay it to us. Okay, well then spend £20 million less on the players you're bringing and buying in. They've clearly overspent, they've overinvested, trying to gain a sporting advantage, trying to become a better team, and their project failed. They've lost money. It's the right punishment for them. And I'm glad to actually see some of these rules have some damn teeth. I'm really glad to see them actually have some teeth and punish a team in an adequate way. I get so sick and tired of, you know, people get, oh, they get a 2-year transfer ban, they do an appeal, and then it only turns out to be one, you know, and it doesn't really deter them. You think, well, you might as well cheat again. If there's no deterrent, you might as well cheat, you might as well break rules, you might as well act outside the regulations that they all sign up to every single year. So yeah, I don't buy into this nonsense that they've been hard done by. Also, like the City, when City's comes up, when City's trial happens, if they're found guilty, they are in so much trouble. They are. It's ridiculous how much trouble they're going to be in when you read through what
the charges, though, Terry. Real talk.
What do you mean?
There's literally about 5 that could potentially ruin them. Other than that, the other 110 are a load of rubbish. Yeah, but again, it makes a great storyline. Yeah, I've just Googled it as well, because Man United on the 14th of July this year got fined €300,000 for breaking FFP rules over a 4-year period from 19 to 22.
Yeah. So
yeah, where was the hype then?
Again, so we obviously spoke about it on the show. They didn't break rules; they breached, as in they lost too much money in that particular period. So there's also a distinction. Yes. So this is the distinction.
Mm.
Everton have not been accused of circumventing or cheating the system. They've failed to meet the standards. They've lost too much money. The word breach, it's being used for Cities and it's also being used for Everton's. The media have got to do something about the language because it's very conflatory. Does that make sense? Because breaching the rule is different from cheating the rule. Does that make sense? Like what City have been accused of is paying managers from offshore accounts, the same as Chelsea, paying transfers through offshore accounts. That's very different from a team overspending or getting its business plan wrong, because there's nothing wrong with a team spending a lot of money year one, so they're in a big loss, and then recouping that over a 2-year period. So by the end of 3 years, they're within the parameters. Everton have just got it wrong and got themselves a bit muddled up and made a mistake. So there is a fundamental difference between what Everton have been found guilty of and what Man City have been charged with. Man City have been charged with cheating and falsifying the income into their football club. Yes, there's other charges as well for the grass and things like that. But the main big 5 charges are that. Plus there's an additional 5 charges for 5 years running, not cooperating and not providing the documentation that the Premier League have been asking for, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of things in there connected to those, but they're essentially accused of generating incomes in a way in which are not allowed in the Premier League. So there is a difference.
You say that, but Man United did exactly the same as Everton. Yeah, and you can say breached and cheating. It's the same thing.
No, it's not.
Well, it is. It's the same thing. You've breached the rule. Yeah, you've cheated the rule. It's the same thing. You've both lost money in a certain time period that you shouldn't have lost because it's too far over. You've been fined 300,000 euros and they've been docked 10 points.
Can I ask you a question?
Breaching, breaking, cheating, it's the same thing.
But it isn't. It
it's
isn't.
Just a different word. That makes
no,
it sound better for Man United.
It isn't a different word. It is the facts. If you're in a 400-meter race, if you're in a 400-meter race and you step outside your lane, you get kicked out the race, right? You're banned. You don't. If you win it, you don't get a medal.
The line.
Yes, did you breach the line? If you win,
therefore you cheated.
Hang on, no, because you've done it by accident. You have not meant to do it. If you then take anabolic steroids and you're caught, that's cheating. Stepping outside the lines is not cheating. And the wording that the media use is very key, because the word breach just makes everybody think they've broken rules. So there is a fundamental difference between the two things. That doesn't mean Everton shouldn't be punished, but I agree with you. The conflating I'm seeing of, well, why haven't City been charged yet? It's a much bigger situation with much bigger ramifications. They're not even comparable to one another in any way, shape, or form.
Well, they are, because you both lost money in a certain time period that you shouldn't have lost. Yeah, and breaching. Your analogy there of the 400-meter runner. Yeah, banned. It's got nothing to do with taking anabolic steroids. Yeah, because at the end of the day, yeah, Man United and Everton have both done exactly the same thing. Difference is Man United got the word breached in their thing. Yeah, Everton didn't. So it makes it sound less of an issue.
So again, Man United's breach wasn't with the Premier League. Man United's breach was with FFP, which is UEFA. Everton have done nothing with UEFA. Everton's is the profit and sustainability rule. So they're both different with different associations.
Yeah, different associations, but it's still the same thing. You both lost money that you shouldn't have lost. You lost too much money in a certain time frame. Yeah, one was with one establishment, one was with another, but you still done the same thing.
Right, and we've been punished.
The word breached is irrelevant. Yeah,
but we've been punished. But what's your point?
You got punished 300 grand. They got punished 10 points. Yeah, my point is there was none of this hoo-ha about Man United because the word breached was in it when that came out in July.
Well, there was no hoo-ha because obviously it was a relatively small fine. We don't know the exact details. It's never been released by UEFA or by the club, but it's a different competition. The hoo-ha is because 10 points have been deducted. If Man United would have been kicked out of the Champions League, there definitely would have been hoo-ha, wouldn't there?
Man United, United described it as a minor break-even deficit. So they can, again, clever wording. Yeah, United describe it as a minor.
Mate, and I understand.
So they haven't broken even. Therefore, they're in deficit. Therefore, they've broken the law of the game, the rules for FFP. Yeah, you got a tiny little fine of 300 grand. Your words, tiny fine. That's why there was no hoo-ha, because it was a tiny fine. Yeah, Everton have been docked 10 points for doing a minor deficit of 20 million quid. Same thing.
How much was Man United's?
Man United. Let me see if I
can
find
much was the deficit?
figure. I don't know. I can't see it on this article. I'll try and find it, but it doesn't say on this. Hang on. Okay. Right. Reflected UEFA adjusted COVID losses, 15 million of 281 of revenues due to pandemic, blah, blah, blah. It's understood United stance, they were unable to adjust for 47 million COVID losses. So you actually had a bigger deficit, yeah, which is a breach, than Everton, because they're just 19 million.
So no, I want to ask you a question. So when you say 48, what's the threshold with UEFA?
What do you mean?
Because Everton lost 124 million, but the threshold is 105. What's the threshold?
Well, don't tell me on this article.
Yeah, I'm just asking. I haven't seen that. So
they were unable to adjust. Look at the wording of this. United, yeah, it is understood United's stance is that they were unable to adjust for 47 million of COVID losses in 2022 monitoring period. Yeah.
Yes, because that's what Everton. Everton have adjusted.
Seen change in how UEFA treated the losses. Yeah.
Yes, so that's the same as Everton. So with Everton's, what happened is they lost. But again, let me make my point. So they lost over 300 million, but they were able to wipe off about 170 million of that in adjustments, as an example. But I understand that there wasn't as much hoo-ha being made. I get that, but I'm not understanding your overarching point. We both agree, don't we, that Everton's 10-point deductions, right? Yeah.
Well, I couldn't care less if I'm being honest. What I'm saying is, Man United got €300 fine. Nobody waffled about it. Yeah, Everton get docked and everyone's crying. Yeah, like have the same energy for both clubs. I know it's two different organisations, but you've breached the rules. Hang on, so again, I'm trying. Lee, I want to stop because surely you should be docked points.
So, well, we can't be docked points in the Premier League for something that's to be UEFA.
Banned from Europe, then something.
So you think we should be banned from Europe?
€300,000 fine. Yeah, Marcus Rashford gets paid more than that a week, Terry. Everton have been docked 10 points.
So Lee, this is all I've been trying to get to. So you're not saying why people are not slamming Everton having points taken away. They're saying they shouldn't have done. So what are you saying? Man United should have been? That's what I'm confused about. I don't really get your stance. What I'm saying
is have the same energy for both football clubs. You've both breached the rules.
Yes.
Yeah, both breached the rules. You've breached.
So you want everybody sticking up for Man United because everyone's sticking up for Everton.
No, wait. You breached the rule by double the amount of losses that Everton had for their one. They had 19.5 million quid, right. Yeah, which was over what it should be, and you had 47 million.
Now they lost 124 million.
No, they had 19.5 million quid, Terry.
That's over the limit, but they lost 124 million.
No, they had 19 million.
No, they lost 100.
Yeah, forget the 105 you're allowed to lose over 3 years. They lost 124, so that's 19.5 million over what they're allowed to lose.
Yeah, but like I asked you,
for 47 million.
What over the limit?
That's what you got fined for. I've just read it out.
You said we lost 100. You said we lost 47 million.
For 47 million quid in 2022.
Yes. Is that what we lost in totality or over the threshold?
Well, you got fined for a reason, Terry.
No, but again, you're not listening to Lee. I don't understand what you're saying, Lee, because you're not listening. The point is, Everton were 19 million over the threshold, yes?
Yeah.
But they lost 124 million.
Yeah, but you said we were over the threshold.
No, it's not. If you let Lee, let me finish my question. You said we lost 47 million. I'm asking you, did we lose 47 million in totality, or were we 47 million over the threshold? That's not an unfair question.
Well, if you was only 47 in totality, you wouldn't have been fined, mate, because the threshold's 105. Come on, we're talking
Premier League threshold and UEFA threshold could be different, could they not?
No, because it's all relative to percentage of your income.
No, Terry. It's not. It's all there's the limit. There's the limit.
Okay. Well, either way, Terry, you're
reading it out. I'm asking you to tell me.
What you should have done. Yeah, and the threshold is 105. Yeah, and I'm pretty.
You're saying UEFA's threshold 105 or the Premier? I know the Premier League is. What's UEFA's?
Well, surely it's the same, right?
No, I don't know. I'm asking you. You're the one who's got the information, not me.
Well, don't tell me unless I sit here googling it for about 20 minutes. Maybe
you don't know whether. So you don't know whether we lost more.
There you go. 105 is the threshold for UEFA as well. So you're 47 million over, and like I said, you wouldn't have been 47 million in totality because you're legally, within the eyes of the law, allowed to lose 105 million anyway. You're allowed to lose 105 million, whether it's UEFA or anywhere. Yeah, you're allowed to lose 105 mil. You were 47 million over. Everton were 19 over. They get docked 10 points. You get €300 slap on the wrist.
So maybe we should. But listen, again, I understand it. All I'm trying to do is understand where you're coming from and what you're saying. So you want the way people are. Oh my God, my question was: are you surprised the amount of people defending Everton? And you've kind of gone on about they should be angry at Man United. I kind of get.
No.
That's why I was confused.
No, that's no.
That was my question.
No, Terry. The fact is, they broke the rules. They've been docked. Tough titties. That's it.
I agree with you. We agree.
But my point is, where was the outrage when Man United broke the rules?
But there hasn't been outrage to Everton.
No,
They've been defended. That's what I was confused about.
There's either outrage for Man United, which there clearly isn't, hence why hardly anyone knew they've been fined in the summer, right? Because it weren't a major thing on Sky Sports and any other media out there. Nobody was talking about it. But now it's Everton get docked 10 points. Everyone feels sorry for Everton. Okay, cool. We'll now hold Man United to the same account then and get them docked 10 points. Or treat Everton the same as Man United got treated and feel like, oh, we're just brushed out under the carpet. You can't have it both ways. One club's done the same as the other club, but the club that got fined 300 grand broke the rules by double the amount of money.
I don't listen. I think your opinion holds water. This is all. Listen, your opinion isn't what's bothering me. I'm genuinely confused because for me, I agree with you that they shouldn't be made to look like victims, Everton, 100%. But your response to it is Man United should be cooked. But my point is no one's cooking Everton. They're on their side. So if the energy's the same, you want people defending Man United. It's weird.
I never said Man United should be cooked. I said Man United cooked their books. Yeah,
yes,
the same as Everton have done, but Everton have been held to a different standard. They
haven't been held to a different standard by the media and by fans. They're being made to be victims. So you want people backing Man United or against us?
Nobody's mentioned Man United. It's fine. I ain't seen anyone mention it.
Well, I have. We did shows on it, so I can't speak for you, but we definitely did shows on it on the Terrace.
The reason I knew Man United got fined 300 grand is somebody put it in my chat yesterday. It's the only reason I knew they got fined 300 grand. I didn't know that, and that was in July. Yeah, nobody was putting that all over the internet. Maybe you were. I don't know. Yeah, but nobody else. None of the mainstream media were running with Man United fined by FFP constantly every day. Yeah, getting wheel out Tim Sherwood, wheel out this person. Oh my God, yeah, I'm Man United for the rest of the season. Yeah, so same energy. Yeah, and this is where I get the ump with certain things. Yeah, because you've broken the rule, the law. Yeah, which is the same as them, but you've done it by double or more the amount. You get 300 grand. They get 10 points. Yeah, and now everyone's then waffling about Man City and Chelsea. Well, Chelsea ain't even been charged. Yeah, and 95% of the charges Man City have got are complete rubbish anyway. Yeah, and probably the other 5%, they've probably already had thrown out by UEFA anyway. But again, it's a whole media thing where they just love to cause a drama train. Yeah, brush Man United under the carpet. Forget, nobody needs to know they got fined. But we make a big song and dance about Everton. Yeah, but then what we'll do is we'll write all of these articles and put Man City and Chelsea in there, and they could be relegated to cause a drama. They ain't getting relegated, mate. That's 2/3 of the top 6. They're not relegating them.